Hello.
Hello, hello, welcome. Okay, I see that people keep on joining, but I believe that we can start. Welcome everyone to today's Companies4U Lunch and Learn session. We are glad to see so many faces and thank you for taking the time during your lunch break to join us. I would like to start by thanking Professor Dr. Margarete Rammersdorfer for also being with us today. She will be so kind as to say some introductory words. Professor Rammersdorfer is Vice Rector of the Academic Programs and Student Affairs at WU, and she is also currently Interim Dean at the WU Executive Academy until the end of the year. Welcome, Professor Rammersdorfer, and you have the stage.
Thank you. Hello and a very warm welcome from my side to our Companies4U webinar. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome you here today at our interactive event series Companies4U that provides a unique opportunity to gain insights into some of the most innovative and successful companies operating internationally from their base in Austria. This series especially serves as an inspiring platform for learning, collaboration, and forward-thinking dialogue. I'm really delighted to introduce our speaker today, Martin Beranek, the Commercial Director at Bitpanda for Austria and Switzerland. With over 10 years of experience in marketing and management, he has extensive expertise in business development, commercial strategy, marketing, and public relations. We are eager to hear your insights and learn from your experience. Thank you all for being here, and a special thanks to Mr. Beranek for giving us this inspiring talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rammersdorfer, and also a warm welcome from my side, Martin. Thank you for taking the time and for being open to providing your insights on the fintech industry, but not only, also on your personal and your career journey. We are excited to hear about it. And I also want to welcome Dusica. Dusica will be interviewing Martin during this session. She is actually celebrating her 15 years since graduation because she studied the Global Executive MBA program here at the WU Executive Academy, graduating in 2010. And she's currently managing partner of DL Capital Partners. Also in my talks with her, I learned that she was very eager and excited about entrepreneurship, startups in general, and also for the fintech business. Actually, you are using Bitpanda, the Bitpanda platform yourself, you said, Dee, right?
Exactly. I'm
Okay,
using
I will.
many years.
Very nice. Yeah, actually, before Martin even joined, he said. So yeah, I will hand over to you, Dee, and for you to also say a few words about yourself and to start this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm super excited. As you know, my name is Dusica Lukac, everyone calls me Dee, and I will be moderator of today's session. As you heard, I'm a Global Executive MBA 2010, which is really great to be today here helping my alma mater into bringing this initiative into life. Yes, I'm managing partner of DL Capital Partners, but I'm specialized for exits, and the book on exits is coming next year. My focus on industry is fintech, because before this life, I used to work in investment banking, buying, selling banks, and then I focused 10 years ago directly on fintechs, which makes like kind of two things together, like fintechs, Bitpanda, and my university. And I think without the further ado, it's the best to dive into questions with Martin. Martin, thank you so much for being here today with us. And we have prepared extensive list of the questions, but for the housekeeping rules, everyone, please feel free to put your questions, additional questions in a chat, in here down there, little bubble, so that we can address them at the end, because Martin will leave 10 minutes at the end for Q&A, so that he can address certain questions you directly have to ask him. Thank you so much for being here, Martin. Could you tell us a little bit to start with about you, about your career path, what you originally studied, and how did you actually move into crypto and the fintech? We know it's super exciting industry, and maybe also to elaborate a little bit about your current role in a company.
First of all, thanks, Dee, for the introduction, and also thanks for the invitation today to WU. I'm really proud to be here, and thank you all for joining. Looking forward to a 50-minute session now and giving some insights about Bitpanda. About myself, my name is Martin. I am now since 2.5 years commercial director at Bitpanda for the markets Austria and Switzerland. And Dee, you asked me how I start with my career and also studying. To be honest, I went a total different way. I did not study commercial or marketing, and to be honest, also I have no MBA. I'm originally from journalism. I started my career when I was 16, 17 at my school time to write my first articles and start my journalism career. And then after school, I said, okay, yeah, I want to continue with that. I want to study journalism and public relations. I did it and finally at the University of Applied Science in Graz. And went this way. And as it is often in life, things are changing and you are developing, you're moving forward. And this was the same with me. During the studying, I went already more in public relations and marketing, step by step. Having then my first job at Volkswagen in Wolfsburg, starting there in the media department and marketing. And after a while, came back to Austria and taking over my first marketing roles. And step by step, privately more or less, I came into the crypto world because I thought, okay, I'm investing in shares, I'm investing in ETFs. Crypto sounds quite interesting. To be honest, I was never a crypto geek. I was never into this currency discussions and will crypto be a competitor of the dollar or the euro in the future? For me, it was a really interesting investment asset. And in that case, privately, I look since 2019 on the crypto space and started to investing there. And then finally, as you maybe know, 2022 was not only for the crypto space a really, really difficult year. It was also a difficult year for Bitpanda to be honest, as we are highly depending on the volatility and in general on the market development. It was a challenge for the whole company. And Eric and Lucas, the CEOs, came together with Dominic, our CCO, to me beginning of 2023 and said, okay, yeah, Martin, we really need help to rebuild our commercial department, to rethink also how we set up our company from a revenue perspective. We have to get more independent from the crypto space. We have to get more independent from the crypto volatility to build up the company on a stable base and bring it also to the next level from a commercial perspective and also from a company perspective. And that was, of course, a really, really interesting offer, a really, really interesting step forward into the fintech and in trading environment. And I said, okay, yeah, I will do it. And now I'm here.
Thank you so much. This is really amazing. I have to say that a lot of people that I've met are super successful in financial services in London actually have similar path like you. So this is not surprising, because your skills as journalists, etc., definitely translated into this new world. But as you mentioned, crypto and fintech space is a very unique, and now you're there like for some time, and you are insider within Bitpanda. So it would be really amazing to tell us a little bit of the inside view, how this actually happened, how this small startup in Austria managed to grow to become such a major name in crypto and fintech internationally. I know why I started using it, because when I met the founders, I tested it. I was like, user experience top notch. In those days, user experience on the other platforms would not even close. But it would would be really interesting to see how this growth happened. Can you tell us a little bit about it, and what impact actually did it had on business model, processes, and also employee motivation? Because now I think that everyone wants to work with Bitpanda, but that was a path, that was a process. So could you tell us a little bit about it more?
Of course. I think when we go to the beginning of Bitpanda, and when the three founders, two from Austria and Eric from Germany, had the idea to build up a broker to give the broader mass the possibility to invest in, at this time, mainly Bitcoin. There were three success pillars which they had. First of all, the right timing, of course. It was 2014. There were not a lot of competition. The first brokers came into the market worldwide. The first exchanges were already in the market. But for the mass of the people, it was really difficult to get into the crypto space. There were not a lot of tools. There was also not a lot of experience, to be honest. But the whole bubble started to getting bigger and bigger, also with the first bull run then. So the timing was, I think, was a key point to start this business, and was then also one of the success that you can, even as an Austrian company and not as a company from one of the financial hubs like in the US, New York, or in UK, London, you can be successful. The second important pillar was, as I said, that the three founders said every time we want to be or we want to position ourselves into the mass media and into the target group, which is broader than the crypto bubble itself. And because of that, they built from the beginning a product with a really easy user experience, with low barriers to enter the market, and make it really easy for everyone to buy crypto in the end, and to invest in Bitpanda, and made it already in this direction from a strategic point, that it will be an investing tool. So in that case, having it not seen to say, okay, it's an exchange only to buy crypto, and see it then also as a currency platform. The focus was from the beginning already in investing, and making crypto to an additional asset into the financial service world, into the investing and trading world. And I think that was especially 2014, 15 already quite early in the crypto space. And having this in mind, the third pillar coming into place, and that's the whole regulatory and regulation stuff. And that, I think, is something what Bitpanda did it really best in Europe, to having regulatory perspective already from the beginning in the DNA, starting from the beginning to having a clear focus on compliance, on AML standards, on regulatory stuff, but also on public affairs, to be into discussion with the governments, how we want to set up the regulatory framework for the crypto space. Because in 2014, 15, 16, it was not existing. And to work here close to, for example, with the FMA in Austria or with the BaFin in Germany, was, of course, a success story for us, because in the end, we built our product from the beginning to be regulatory fine for the big regulators in Europe, and we worked closely with them together to build up the framework, and to be then also one of the first, or in most countries their first, who received then the new licenses, and having the product already ready for the market. So having a clear advantage also from a business and commercial perspective against the others. And we could see this also now with MiCA. It's the a crypto regulatory framework in the European Union now since beginning of this year. Bitpanda was the first major broker who received this MiCA license in Germany and in Austria for the whole European market. and we could be active from day one, from January on, in the new framework. When we look at our competitors, most of them said from the beginning they want to be part of the MiCA framework now, but needed 6 to 9 months to adjust now their product and adjust to the new circumstances to start with business. And I think that is also the big USP what we have here on our framework and our strategy.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. And before we just jump into another question, I would like to ask people in the audience, anyone using Bitpanda? Just raise the hand. Nope, or good. So we still have some people who are using Bitpanda. Anyone also investing in a crypto space? Nope. Okay, there are a couple of people. Good, good. Thanks a lot. So I actually would like to ask a little bit. Okay, I can see a couple of hands. That's nice.
Yeah, more thumbs now, yeah.
Nice, nice. So we obviously have also here in the community people who experience this volatility of a crypto and a fintech space. This is like they're famous for this roller coaster drive. So I just wanted to ask you maybe to give us a little bit of insider's view, how you guys handling and navigating this fast-paced environment. I mean, also working in such fast-paced environment is not easy. I mean, you just wake up one day and you have to learn a lot about MiCA or about something else because it's really changing over the night. So maybe just give us a little bit about the strategies which you can use to maintain internal stability and success, and literally how you're navigating all that, because it's so much vastly different from traditional finance, which is more mature, very slow growth, very predictable discussions with your manager, where you will be in 5 years' time. So maybe just give us a little bit peek into this fast-paced environment.
Yeah, I think in general, regarding the daily business and to work in this environment, you have to be highly flexible. As you said, you wake up on certain days and you feel the world has changed, and not the total world, but the crypto space at least, or there is a new challenge or there's a new regulation. Sometimes I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning only for some minutes. I look at my phone and said, okay, world changed again. So from a strategic standpoint, it's highly challenging to plan long term in the crypto space, to be honest. But from a Bitpanda perspective, we decided in 2022 that, as I said, we have to get less independent from this volatility, because otherwise we cannot plan long term the success of Bitpanda, and this would be, of course, from a strategic standpoint for the company, really unhealthy. So in that case, the first goal was then also in 2023 to find new revenue streams which make us less dependent on crypto and Bitcoin, bringing in new products, looking at new revenue streams on the B2B side, where we started then also to work together with other financial services and also with banks like, for example, Raiffeisen, Deutsche Bank, Société Générale in France, to bringing in that case also new revenue streams into our commercial strategy. Then, of course, also position ourselves step by step away from a pure crypto broker into a 360 investing platform. In that case, bringing new products like margin trading, leverage, stocks, ETFs, metals into the game. So even if the crypto space is not performing as well, and there's a bear market there, yeah, then maybe it's the right time to invest in gold or in silver, or going into the stocks market, and giving this opportunity to the customers, and working also in that case then to improve the whole marketing vehicle to lead the customers into this direction, also from a CM perspective, cross-selling from crypto high risk customers for example, into the margin trading or leverage product, or bringing customers with a lower risk appetite into savings plans or into metals. This is more or less than the strategy which we took. Of course, it is still volatile. We don't have to say we are now totally independent from the market. That's not the case. We are also still depending. So we brought it now in the last 2 years to a level where I said, okay, we are less depending. We have a certain base on revenue where we can really work strategically long term on the success of the company. Also investing now in a lot of different markets, where we getting now really the European market leader in crypto trading. That was a success story the last 2 years. And on the other side, keeping the flexibility also from a cost perspective, but also from a working perspective, to adapt quickly the strategy when the market is moving.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. And I can vouch because I also tested some of your new products, like for metals and ETFs, etc. So it's really happening on your platform. But you mentioned you successfully moving away from being only crypto towards like more, let's say, the diversified investment platform. And you mentioned that you are having some partnerships with the major banks like Deutsche Bank or my favorite N26, like another big player in German-speaking world. So can you tell us, I've seen it also, you are working successfully with some of the global sports organizations like Bayern Munich. I'm sure everyone else will know it, or NFL. So maybe just tell us a little bit how these partnerships work in practice, because, you know, we hear a lot how the companies, scale-ups grow in this world, from small startup to a scale-up to global players to the partnership. So maybe just give us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I think we have to diversify these partnerships a little bit and make it into two groups. The one, of course, is the classic bank partnerships, financial service partnerships. What is our own B2B business in the end, because we have the B2C business. What is the classic app and the classic financial service to the end customer for trading, where we have, of course, also different products, but it is clear end customer focused. The B2B business is more or less that we offer our financial service, so our whole background, our trading engine, but also our whole technical service and the platform itself to other institutes or to certain banks. How does it work? For me, Raiffeisen in Austria or N26 in Germany are the role models every time for that, because both of them said, okay, we want to offer crypto trading to our end customer. We don't want to build, and we don't have the time to build a trading engine and the platform itself. We have already an online banking app, and we want to offer this to our customers. So in the end, we take the Bitpanda platform, build a white label solution, and integrated it into the app of N26 and Raiffeisen. At Raiffeisen, the Alba app, what maybe some of you know, is even under the name of Bitpanda, so powered by, because Raiffeisen said, okay, we really want to work also with the name and the trust level of Bitpanda into our product. And it's a really, really good relationship and brings us, as I said, on a different level. Because what is the big advantage of Bitpanda? Yes, we are the number one in crypto trading, but we have a certain target group which we targeted in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, which is of course more the younger generation, more the crypto affine target group, more the urban space, more the cities in Europe. And with the banks, especially for example with Raiffeisen, we could enter in a totally different target group, and using their huge customer base, what they have in Austria, bringing in the product. So in that case, entering the market with such a partner, also with Deutsche Bank, for example, now in Germany, that's for us a great success. But it's exactly also this additional revenue stream, what I said before, to make us less depending on the market volatility in the crypto space. The second point, what you mentioned, is our partnerships on the marketing and sports side, of course, where we decided 2 years ago that if we really want to be the most well-known crypto player in the mass market, we have to start to investing in marketing and entering also new markets like the UK now in summer. Where we started totally from the scratch, receiving the license in June, and then entering the market. You have to invest so much money to build up trust, to build up also brand awareness, and the competition, of course, is high. So we decided to go with sport. What is hitting exactly our target group in most of the cases, to entering such markets. And for example, in UK now with Arsenal, it was the perfect market entry into the space, helping on one side with the network, of course, because also these clubs and these associations have an amazing network into the financial industry. So also from a B2B product, brings us into contact in new markets, which we maybe not have, and building trust from the beginning. But also from an end consumer perspective, building up a relationship and increasing brand awareness and the trust level enormously from the beginning, so that it's really worth it.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. I can see that some questions are coming. Please, audience, keep them coming because we will have some time at the end to address all of them. And we would like to connect with your, concerns and doubts and thoughts more. But before we go into Q&A session, I think that maybe, as you mentioned several times, this not only crypto space, but I think in general, scale-ups in the fintech space is very volatile, and it means navigating constant change and uncertainty. And you're also leading teams, in such environment. So maybe not only to give us a perspective as an employee, because I think it's you addressed that already, but maybe to give us a little bit what are you actually doing, what leadership qualities are most important to keep your team motivated, because people can get quite demotivated when they need to be when constant change and uncertainty is around. So just maybe give us a little bit, what are the key qualities, leadership qualities, that you think are important to keep the team together?
I think in that case, there are two things which are really, really important from a leadership perspective, and where we also look quite clearly when we hire new leaders, that they bring in this that management skills within to the team. On one side, clear communication. I think communication is and transparency is so important in such situations. Because when as you said, the market is moving, there's volatility, things are changing on a regular base, and if you then don't communicate transparently and make it clear why we're taking decisions and why we are going in certain directions, people will be, as I said, not motivated to run with us. Will be not trust us because they don't understand the decisions. So open-minded, clear transparency, transparent communication, and having also clear goals communicated, how the company is built up, why we are going in this direction, and what do we expect, and also from our team members, what they have to reach, and have also a clearness then also on that case, that they know, okay, the situation is changing, I have to be flexible, but I know exactly what is my goal, how can I reach it, This is really, really important. And in that case, we manage to keep the people motivated to run with us in a really successful time. But I have also to say, I think it's not a big yeah, it's not a big miracle that we have also certain fluctuation in the industry, and that it is hard for a lot of people to go this route, keep this flexibility, to keep on going on a daily base with this industry. It's a challenge. It's a challenge also for us as a leader. And for sure, also we have to mention, and we don't make a secret out of that we have higher fluctuation than classic companies like in the financial industry, banks, for example.
Absolutely. I thank you for that. I think also your background helps a lot with having such a clear communication skills, and every leader should definitely upgrade that particular segment. I cannot stress that more. But there are not only downsides of working in such exciting
No.
environment. There's actually, I personally think, more pluses than downsides. I mean, the growth, opportunities, what you can learn, how quickly you can come from point A to point B in your career, I think it's uncomparable to the other more mature industries. Maybe share with us some success story, you know, like to motivate people, because now we scare them off. Please never come close to any scale-ups or fintechs, crypto, God forbid, but there are many success stories, and maybe we can share some here.
Absolutely. No, it's an amazing place to work, to be honest. I think we only have to know, and it's every time important before you enter a job, or if you enter a certain business space, what do you have to expect, and where are you? And as I said, it's an enormous growing industry. It's a opportunity business, because you have an opportunity every day with you, what you can use privately, but also from a business perspective as a company. And when we look at Bitpanda, Bitpanda was founded 10 years ago, 11 years in December, and is from a small startup with 3 founders, and in the beginning 10 employees, grown to a company, a European market leader in 10, 11 years, with a revenue of more than 400 million euros, and closely 1,000 employees in Europe. And still the headquarters in Vienna. Show me other industries where that was possible in the last 10 years. You will find some of them, but not a lot of them. And to working in that environment gives you, as I said, a lot of opportunities privately, doing their own business, growing from a leader, from a management perspective. And in that case, as you mentioned, we have, of course, a lot of employees who stays with us also a long time, who they did a great career. Looking at our CEO, Lucas, he's mid of 30, leading a company with 400 million euros revenue plus per year. He started his career at Raiffeisen, and doing there the digital business, and went to Bitpanda, and did his way, and he's now CEO. So we have quite a lot of these stories also, where we have now people on C-level, people in senior management, started even in customer support or in the product department in smaller roles, and are in 4, 5, 6 years in C-level or second level positions, in an age under 40. No? So I'm getting 40 now, next year. And I'm one of the oldest already, in the senior management, also in the second level. So this is, of course, a success story. What you also don't have quite often in other industries, this opportunity to fast grow also your career, and to get also this amazing experience, and also this knowledge and experience such early in your career, and the possibility to work on such projects, and also taking the decisions.
Thank you, Martin. And I should just mention that some of the people that left started some other companies. So I hope that you're going to build up so-called Bitpanda mafia, like we have PayPal mafia in Silicon Valley. That is really a good nucleus of the new companies coming to the stage. And when we're mentioning personal stories, and there is, as we know, the downsides, and there is a lot of opportunities, and maybe also give us your thoughts, share with us your thoughts about how are you managing to keep healthy life-work balance? Because it's not easy. As you mentioned, you wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then suddenly your phone is buzzing everywhere. This is kind of not commonly seen in regular businesses. So it would be, how are you managing? What are you doing?
I have to say it's also not every day, to be honest. So we don't have to threaten people now
At least good.
that I wake up every day at 3 or 4 looking at my phone, and it's getting crazy. Thanks God, it's not gonna happen. It's sometimes, of course, and I think we have this also in other industries, to be honest. But in general, as it is also with other jobs and other industries. It is really, really important that you find your time where you can relax, where you re-engage your batteries and bringing back the energy levels what you need. And for that, it is really, really important to hear at your body. At least I learned this also in my career. I had also difficult times, also from a healthy perspective, where my doctor years ago, even before the crypto space, to be honest, said, okay, yeah, you need a break now, 2-3 weeks here on your body, go on vacation, and then start your way again. And when you're getting older, I think you learn also to hear at your body and knowing, okay, now maybe I need a little break. If I have to find ways to get my energy back. For me, perfectly, sport is really, really important, because that is the way where I can shut up my brain, where I can get other ideas also in my brain, not looking in that way every day, because that is also something where you have to be a little bit more cautious, maybe in the crypto space, when things are changing on a daily basis, and things are changing quite often. You are really fast in the reactive space, and having having ad hocs and not looking at the wider picture anymore, not on the strategic picture. So also from that side, it is sometimes important to get out of the daily business, getting out of only ad hoc messages, and have the wider look again. And taking this time, and I think with doing that, and giving also our employees the opportunity to doing that. That was also one of the reasons why Bitpanda years ago brought the model in that you can take as many vacation as you want. Of course, if you reach your goals every time, but giving the flexibility also to employees to say, okay, I need now 2 or 3 days break that I reach my goals. That was in the beginning really, really important. Now, as we're getting a bigger company, such things are more difficult to keep. But you asked me before what is important as a leader. Also, that saying to the people, and they are also in this circle, saying, man, take your time, go on vacation. You need it now. So that is also quite important on a leader, because otherwise you burn your team quite quickly.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing, because I want to work in somewhere like Bitpanda, to be honest, now after hearing that, because in my old banking
No,
days,
please do it, because
we
it's
will
really
talk.
amazing culture.
Thank you so much. I think we will talk a little bit more about career opportunities before we jump into Q&A. So maybe that will be good to open the Q&A session. But honestly, I tried to get sabbatical in my old investment banking days. It was always a big no-go. So hearing something like that from you, and having in mind everything that you said about how fast-paced the space is, it's super important to nurture and to retain talents. But before we jump into career questions and Q&A session, I just want to address shortly. I mean, we are working in innovative space, and we are all talking daily about the changes, canaries in the mine and everything. So maybe let's talk about the future of not only crypto, but the fintech in general. The first one, and I've seen some questions also concerned about this, particularly frauds, money anti-laundering, and scams. I mean, that is reality. It is happening not only to fintech, but it's happening to mature traditional financial institutions as well, a lot, actually even more. Maybe you can tell us how Bitpanda is working to protect their customers from fraud, scams, how they're checking on anti-money laundering issues, and maybe what are the biggest challenges to keep the crypto space safe. Because that is not a small task. I know you can't address it in such a short time, but at least give us your thoughts how Bitpanda is doing it.
Yeah. No, Dee, I think it's great that you asked this question, because it's a really important question, and not only from the crypto space. I don't like when we talk that we had a lot of fraud and so on only in the crypto space. That's a problem of the whole financial industry and the financial services. It's for banks, it's for brokers, it's for exchanges, it's everywhere where you handle with money. There is every time, unfortunately, also black sheeps who try to make fraud, to get the money, to do AML, finance terrorism, finance Russia, and so on. The world is complex, and we have to work with that. For Bitpanda, it's really important, because, as I said, for us was it from the beginning the clear goal to have a good product for the end customer, what has a low entrance barrier and is open for everyone to start your investment into the future. And when it's not safe and when it's not trusted, then people will not use it. That is also what I meant before, that compliance standards and regulatory framework was really important for us, and we invested a lot of money to build up this framework, and to having Mika now also. That's also one of the success stories of Bitpanda, not only our one, of course, but of the whole industry, to build up now this trusted framework, and having also clear AML rules, what the industry should do, can do, and have to do, and that we set the standard is for us really we are really proud of that, to be honest. That is what we do on the AML side. We try to build up the standard, and it's more or less the standards what we know from the industry, from the classic financial industry since years, from the banking industry, which we brought now also into the crypto space.
Thank you.
The second point, only to come shortly on the scams. Scams are a really big problem, and the companies cannot do a lot of things. We can educate the people. We can bring tools in, like we had the anti-phishing code now, where you get specific tools to know, okay, this communication is from Bitpanda, this communication is from the company, which you know, and not from fraudster. But it is also, unfortunately, to a certain perspective in the hand of the customer, and this is something what you cannot control at Bitpanda, because the freedom must be here still. You can only offer the tools, and on the other side, we know also that there are certain regulatory frameworks, not even in the financial industry, also from a technical data perspective, what makes it sometimes really difficult from a company perspective to help the customers. So it's a huge challenge for the whole market, for the whole financial industry. We are in contact with banks who had big scam attacks during summer. Also, we had it in summer via short messages, WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on. And we can only fight against it and work with the governments to protect our customers.
Absolutely. And Martin, you're definitely not the only one. I think that personally, I received at least 5 SMS messages about which was scam messages, like from Finanzamt. And honestly, they looked quite regular, but I went in the messages to the Finanzamt directly, and they told me it's a scam ongoing for the whole year. So before we jump into a last technical question about the space, I will ask other people in this in audience to put in the chat, do you think that crypto will ever become a common currency that you, for everyday people, that you can actually pay coffee with it or not? While Martin tells us, just put it in chat, yes or no. And Martin, I cannot close this session without mentioning AI. I think that AI is like balloon booming, but still it is changing financial industry at its core. Anything that Bitpanda is doing, you know, like, are you using AI? Or you're like JP Morgan, who fired people and told the remaining employees, lean on AI tools we provided to you heavily. So just tell us, what are you doing?
Yeah. Only coming shortly back to your question, what you put now in the chat, to say it clear, it's already possible with Bitpanda to pay your coffee with Bitcoin
Nice.
and with
Nice.
crypto. When you have the Bitpanda card, then you go to every shop in the world, if they accept Visa, because it's in a partnership with Visa, and you can buy your coffee with Bitcoin. So that is even already possible. Coming to AI. It's a tricky topic, to be honest. Yes, we are using AI, of course, a lot for internal processes, to make our company more effective, to help our employees, to get faster in a fast moving environment in the crypto space. So from an internal perspective, really, really important, and it's a game changer, as you said. From a financial service perspective, having AI in our products, no, it is at the moment not in our products. And yes, we are working on these projects. We have with Christian, an absolute expert, is one of our founders and head of science, who is working on such projects, and we have a look how we bring it in. But it's a long-term project, because AI should not replace the investor. And our clear goal was from the beginning, you decide which investment you want to do in your future. Not the bank is deciding, not your manager in the bank or in the at the broker is deciding where you invest. You decide where you invest. And now replacing this decision by AI would weaken our position, we believe. So as an assistant tool, yes. To take the final decision, no.
Thank you. Thank you. And just in 1 minute before we jump into Q&A, we don't have more time, but are there any current career opportunities at Bitpanda? I know everyone is interested, or maybe to give us one piece of advice, how to enter and transition to crypto or fintech industry, or even start its own business in this space.
First of all, we have a lot of opportunities. I think we have at the moment 76 open roles on our website, in all different categories, from department leaders until junior roles. So a lot of varieties and a lot of possibilities in every section, from marketing over product to legal. So have a look on the Bitpanda website if you're interested. There are opportunities, and in general, when you ask the opportunities in the market, yes, it's a fast-growing industry. There's going a lot in Vienna, because as I said, from a regulatory perspective, and also as Bitpanda is the market leader in Europe, a lot of companies are coming to Vienna now, having open roles, looking for experts, looking for higher positions, senior level positions into the crypto space in Vienna and in Europe. So the Asian companies are coming to Europe, the US companies are coming to Europe, to working under this new MiCA framework. So there are a lot of opportunities. And when you ask regarding the business, also there are a lot of opportunities, as I said, but I think you have to be then also really deep into the space, because it is a special framework, it is a special industry, and you should be an expert in having a good network to be then also successful into the new business.
Thank you, Martin. There were two questions in comments in chat. Maybe Alex, I got kicked out, but I remember when I looked at them. First one was concern about anti-money laundering in a crypto space, because crypto is still vastly Wild West. And the second question was why Bitpanda didn't grow to become one of the top global, top 10 centralized exchanges. When is it the regulatory hurdles, or growth from Europe is a little bit slower? If I don't remember well, please, Alex, just correct me. And maybe to address these questions. And the floor is now open for Q&A. Just raise your hand and we will let you ask Martin directly whatever you want.
Okay, so we can start with the first questions about the money laundering. Is
Can
not
you ask
crypto in conflict?
the AML question again? Because I didn't get it 100%, I think.
So I will start
I think
with.
you did. I think, is there a person who asked the question? Do you want a little bit deeper on this topic?
Is Joseph with us?
Okay, we go to another.
Okay, but I can say that because
the question? Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Joseph.
Yes.
What is your question?
You had a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Is not crypto in conflict with money laundering? Money laundering leads to a lot of bureaucracy. On the other side, crypto is without any control.
Yeah, this is the problem I have in general with cryptos. On the one side, we have a lot of bureaucracy about money laundering, and on the other side, cryptos are quite free.
Yeah, that's the mystic thing about crypto. What is going around? What is not correct? Because we have a clear framework in place since years in most of the countries, especially in Europe. And now with MiCA, we have also the framework comparable with MiFID on the stocks and the ETF side, which is clearly navigating and also controlling the AML standards, which we have from the classic financial industry, now also in the crypto space in Europe for all European countries. So there is no doubt that it is totally controlled. Yes, it's a lot of bureaucracy regarding AML. Not all of our customers like to do that, but it's part of our business. And that is where we stay at Bitpanda. When we talk about unregulated business, then I agree with you. Yes, at crypto, it's still possible to go also in unregulated business to, for example, Asian competitors who are not licensed in Europe, who also don't want to have a license, and they having not our AML standards. But of course, also in the classic financial industries, you will find maybe offshore banks and banks in Asia who will not have the AML standards like in the US or in the European space.
Yeah.
So in that case, to say crypto is wild west, this is over since years. You have to pay taxes in Austria. We are connected even to the Ministry of Finance, tax easy in Austria, and having also the highest AML standards like the banks and controlled by FMR. So there's no difference anymore.
Yeah. Does it mean that the know your customer procedure is in crypto quite the same as in the normal bank industry?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely. And just quickly, I disagree with the second question that Bitpanda is not growing fast enough, because if you compare to Robinhood or eToro, they're a little bit older platforms, and they're coming from a different space, but they were having ups and downs as well. Could Bitpanda have grown faster?
You can every time grow faster and do things different.
Is it because of regulatory or space?
Exactly. I wanted to come to this question. First of all, we are not an exchange. That is something when you define your product, then you have to compare it also one-to-one. And when you compare brokers, then Bitpanda is in the top 3 worldwide. Coinbase is much bigger than us, but they started a little bit earlier and have also an exchange with them, to be honest. But besides that, on the broker level, Bitpanda is in the crypto space quite leading. Why we are not worldwide is because we started in Austria the business and invested every time with a certain cautious into the different markets and having every time a focus. We said we're not going worldwide, we are not going global, we are the local regulatory or regulated partner in the financial industry, and we're not going into markets which are not regulated. And in that case, our focus was mainly on Europe, where the framework was from the beginning there, and it was also the willingness in the beginning to work on the regulatory standards, which you maybe in Asia and in Africa you don't have at this standard. In the US, also in Canada and so on, there are a lot of discussions now. So these are markets which could be interesting for us in the future. But our focus was then mainly on Europe, and we are European market leaders. So I think we reached our goals.
Thank you, Martin. And Dennis, you have been raising hands. Do you have a question?
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. Mr. Beranek, thank you very much for your time. Very insightful conversation. And thank you very much for the moderation and to the Executive Club for the frame. Just two questions. Mr. Beranek, you're leading Austria and Switzerland. If you compare those two markets, let's say from the external perspective as a market and from the internal, from your subordinate team perspective, are there maybe secret buttons that, let's say, they work from Swiss colleagues, but does not work at all for the Austrians? So this one question, yeah, if you compare external and internal perspective. And second, so Bitpanda is incorporated in Austria, right? Your product is digital, but the incorporation is in Austria. What would you wish from our politicians, maybe to even more to improve the economic location, Austria, that Bitpanda feels even more comfortable in the country on the one hand, and on the other hand, maybe we can see more fintechs in our country?
Yeah. On the first question, from an external perspective, and especially for people who don't are from this area of the world, they think, okay, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, everything the same. No? Speak German and have the same culture, wearing maybe lederhosen and are the same. But as we know, it is not the case. Austria and Switzerland is totally different markets. It's also totally different teams in internal now. Working on the market, and it's totally different challenges what you have in the market. First of all, regulatory is different. Switzerland is not in the European Union. Austria is in the European Union, so that framework is different. The culture is different. How the people invest is totally different, because the investment education also in Switzerland is much higher than in Austria. The behavior, also the trust level in the whole third pillar for your future investments, for your pension system, is in Austria, we believe the state is doing that, and we don't have to do a lot of that case. That is hopefully changing now. In Switzerland, it's over 40-50 years totally normal that you privately invest into your future. You have to work then also from a marketing and communication perspective, totally different on these two markets, and also how you build your products. So from that perspective, no, two different strategies, two different frameworks, and you have to see it separate. You cannot do it in one team, to be honest. From an internal perspective, of course, also here, Switzerland is a challenge, to be honest, because you have 3 different languages, in the end already 4. You have 3 different cultures, and you have to do also then, of course, your whole product, marketing, localization, everything 3 times in the market. On the other side, it's a really interesting market, because there's a lot of money. The people have a high income. They are willing to invest. They are open for crypto. There's a study what we did last year together with YouGov. Switzerland is the European champion regarding crypto adoption. in investing. So also that a really interesting market. But it's also not possible, as I said, to copy the product from Austria and Germany. You have to be a local player in Switzerland. You have to localize in the different languages, in the culture. You have to get the Swissness, as you say in Zurich. Otherwise, you will be not successful. And when it comes to politician, I think that we have already a regulatory framework that we know how the crypto industry can develop. We set already a quite important standard in Europe, and we are in that case first time in one area. We are market leader in Europe. We have to keep this now. We have to invest. We have to build up talents. We have to invest in education, because with AI, it seems to be that the train is gone already. So when at least in the crypto space and also in other technologies, we have the possibility to be market leader and to have something, to have a USP in the European market. I hope that the politicians now wake up, invest in these industries, invest in these USPs, and strengthen the European companies which are built in these industries.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Dennis, for question. Thank you, everyone, for today. I have to wrap up the session because we're already 3 minutes late, past the deadline. I'm sure we could talk for days like this. There was a question in comments about where Christina can find the details about crypto framework and regulatory requirements. We suggested ESMA, and Ronald suggested European Banking Authority. So I would suggest everyone to check about the open positions in Bitpanda regularly, and to join Martin and his team. Thank you, everyone. This was an amazing day, and I've learned so much. So that's for today. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
also
all.
from
It
my
was a
side.
pleasure.
Thanks all.
Have a nice rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.